From around the world, staff and students, Sai Ram and welcome to Day 17 of the World Cultural Festival. It was the American civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr. who wisely said, "We may have all come on different ships, but now we are on the same boat." This simple yet profound truth speaks to the very heart of humanity. We may differ in color, in language, in belief, or even ways of life, but at the deepest level, we share one destiny, that on this boat of life, we can move forward only when we row together. The World Cultural Festival embodies this very spirit, where the arts, the traditions, and the wisdom of the world converge to allow us to experience the beauty of one global family. This morning, we have another member of our family addressing us, Ms. Ghada Farid Fakhruddin. She's a transcendental meditation teacher from Lebanon, rooted in the Druze tradition, which believes in the oneness of God and the unity of existence. Her spiritual journey, shaped by personal trials and a deep search for truth, led her to explore past lives, karma, and the transformative power of meditation. She has dedicated her life to raising consciousness and helping people release stress through meditation, yoga, and the practice of right action. Ms. Ghada has worked extensively to empower women, nurture children through education, and bring communities together through spiritual practices that promote inner peace. She also advocates Ayurveda, the science of creative intelligence, and Vedic knowledge as paths to harmony and balance. With a vision of a world free from suffering, her message is clear and universal, that it is only through love, inner growth, and higher consciousness can humanity release its full potential. Ms. Ghada, please.
Good morning. Respected brothers and sisters, it is with great honor that I bring you today in this uplifting event, One Word, One Family, the voice of Lebanon, a land small in geography. Lebanon is a point in the world map that expanded in the nation and became infinity in all countries throughout the globe and throughout the ages. This point holds a huge diversity, manifests the greatness of the Creator in creation, making Lebanon a story of resilience, coexistence, plurality of population, in heritage and in responsibility, and became a message as a meeting place of civilizations, cultures, and schools of religions, includes everybody and excludes none. This diversity, after analyzing, synthesized again from infinity to point in the deep levels of the Lebanese minds of higher states of consciousness, and in the big Lebanese hearts, which always beat with warmth love. Our country and people vibrate with knowledge and shine with beauty like the cedar trees, which grow strongest as roots get deeper and the branches are wide open. Since it's the day of Lebanon, glowing in the Indian sky, I would like to express my deep appreciation of the host, on behalf of the host, to the cultural Lebanese team who came from far distance despite the health challenges and many other obstacles to share the word, concentrated in Sathya Sai Grama, Muddenahalli, under your blessings, Sadhguru. They will share upload, joy, initial cultural values in the land of Upanishad, Bharata, Bhagavad Gita, where the truth of creation shines brightly and embraces the earth with the ancient wisdom of humanity which is very clear in the mind of our exemplar devotee, Maisa Abu Diab, who I'm really very grateful for her to invite me to this great event of One Word, One Family, in which 100 countries participate on one basis, the global humanitarian mission, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, represents a magnificent leap in the life of the variety of scientists, of societies in the different countries, separated by political borders and have common in geography, common geographical features. This implies that human being is a human being wherever he is. We are all one regarding physiology. Every fiber in each physiology is a pulse of consciousness. We are all one regarding human values. If one society suffers from lack of resources, all the other societies suffer and run for support. If one society does not respect human existence, all other societies suffer from the same threat. If a society loses its right by birth to live the truth and enjoy wisdom, all others will get threatened by ignorance. Sadhguru, with the torch of knowledge, wisdom, and truth that illuminate people's paths to enlightenment, among your blessed hands, may the human beings keep the right of well-being, good health, affluence, plenty of abundance, real happiness, everlasting bliss of Brahman, warmth, love, sharp intelligence, and creativity, dispel darkness and rise to enlightenment. The name is related to the form, a profound concept. I would like you to listen to my story with Sai Baba. Spirituality is at the peak of the pyramid of knowledge. It's inclusive in the meaning of it is all about what is manifest and unmanifest in creation. It ranges from a bit of consciousness to reach the level of wholeness, totality. Every individual is born with the right to enjoy totality. The Creator does not want his creation to suffer, but we should know how. We should keep the purity of the body, the purity of the nervous system, by getting rid of accumulating stresses which used to accumulate through our past lives and present circumstances. In Druze, we call it bad action from our previous lives or from this life, which is karma. We have to keep the purity of our minds by acquiring the total knowledge. Always we have to ask why, where, when, how, and who. As our great yogi Kamal Jumblat used to say, he used to say that a man is the value, the big value. He's not a number. He does not represent a sect. He's all the value. And we should never entertain negativity. Always we should radiate the truth of life. Then, and only then, we deserve the realization of the self, to develop into Atma, and the individual becomes a universal being. As Sadhguru mentioned always, listen, meditate, and practice. My story in life as a teacher for all stages, starting kindergarten to university, I discovered that there was always something missing in whatever subject I teach. So I started my own place, small center, to train students to be creative. And based on my belief as Jews unity is a basic principle. So education should include spirituality in its profound meaning. Sai Baba was the first photo I put in the meditation room in my center, which I called Smart Academy. I always used to speak, calling him to help me lit the torch of total knowledge in my path of education, in educating students. And school after school appeared in my way. On 2010, we, a group of educators, established a foundation and named it Joy of Knowledge, because education started to be a big burden on the shoulders of the students. The main goal is to raise individual and social consciousness. Sai Baba of Shirdi was the movie which I always had my students to watch. On 2019, I became ATM teacher, Transcendental Meditation teacher, who teaches the technology of raising individual consciousness, Transcendental Meditation technique. And I taught my beloved Maisa, not by accident. And I taught more than 800 ladies in my area to help in raising consciousness. Also, in schools, more than 200 students to also help them to be creative and get rid of the stresses of this big burden in our society. Now I'm here not by accident, not by chance, but to express my deep respect and loving thanks to the first spark which was lit and lit in my mind and lit the torch of knowledge in my life and helped me understand the profundity of my religion, and I respect it more than before. A deep desire is realized to know total knowledge in different languages. Finally, through a scientific approach by teaching TM, I'm led to fast progression. This is the total knowledge. Now, we move back to Lebanon. Lebanon is the name of the country, which is a message to all other countries. As a late Patriarch Nasrallah Boutros Khair once declared, Lebanon is more than a country. It's a message of freedom and an example of pluralism for East and West. There exists another Lebanon, one of beauty, of generosity, of human warmth, of Lebanon that yearns to share its message with the world. As Gibran Khalil Gibran, our beloved poet, once wrote, "You have your Lebanon and its dilemmas. I have my Lebanon and its beauty." The great yogi Kamal Jumblat, who lived his life in defense of freedom and justice, once said, "Man is not a mere sect, not a number, nor an object. He is a value above all values." These words capture the essence of Lebanon's humanistic message, that every individual, regardless of sect or background, possesses an inherent dignity that must be protected and celebrated. From here, from this stage, I would like to declare the new form of the country, Lebanon, as the letters meant to be in our minds in the light of your wisdom, to continue of the wisdom of Sadhguru, to continue to be the message. L is the light of Veda. E is enlightened country. B is balanced between silence and dynamism. A is almighty blessings. N is nourishing love, joy, and beauty. O is omnipresent. And the other N is non-violence land. On conclusion, let me express through the language of Veda, through the ancient knowledge, this sacred relation between the master and the disciple, between Sai Baba of Shirdi, Sai Baba, and Madhusudan, this country of wisdom, this continuity of wisdom in its different directions, vertically and horizontally, spreading out through the entire space on the globe, penetrating the past on the level of time, developing in the present, and continue to close and far future as it is expressed in the Shanti mantra of the Upanishad. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvi Vadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. Now we request Dr. Sai Leela, trustee of Prashanti Balamandira Trust, to extend a token of our love and gratitude to Ms. Gadha. We will now have a short break for 15 minutes. We request everyone to resume your seats by 9:40 a.m. Sairam.
ष्ठामयो भुवस्तान ऊर्जे दधातना महेरणाय चक्षसे यो वः शिवतमोरसस्तस्य भाजयते हनः उशतीरिव मातरः तस्मा अरङ्गमामवो यस्य क्षयाय जिन्वथा आपो जनयथा च नः नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत इषवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः यात इषुः शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या यातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनुवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषङ्गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्षस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रताङ्कुरु माहि गुंसेः पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक् अहीगुश्च सर्वाञ्जम्भयन् सर्वाश्च यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रस्व मङ्गलः ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षुश्रिताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेड ईमहे असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीढुषे अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वा नो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरार्तियोज्या याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वपा अवतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्षशते शुधे निषेर्य शल्याणां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भवा विज्यं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो बाणवागुम् उता अनेशन्नस्येष व आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हेतिर्मेढष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्ववयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषुधिः सवारे अस्मन्निधेहितम् शम्भवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यबाहवे सेनान्ये दिशाञ्च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः सस्पिञ्जराय त्विषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बब्लुषाय विव्याधिनेन्नानां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतिने पुष्ठानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेत्यै जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्ष क्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्त्याय वनानां पतये नमो नमो वर्धिताय स्थपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्कृताय औषधीनां पतये नमो नम उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्नीनां पतये नमो नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय निषङ्गिणे स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिण इषुधिमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायोनां पतये नमो नमो निचेरवे परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जिघागुंसद्भ्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो रक्तञ्चरद्भ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नम उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमः इषुमद्भ्यो धन्वाविभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आयच्छद्भ्यो विसृजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्गद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्योऽश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्याधिनेभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम उगणाभ्यस्त्रिगुंहतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो वृत्सेभ्यो वृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षद्भ्यो रतकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः इषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च शतधन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीहिष्टमाय चेषुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नम आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्र्याय च शेभ्याय च नम ऊर्म्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोऽभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नम उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नम आशुषेणाय चाशुरथाय च नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ् चेषुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च नमः स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सोद्याय च सदस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कोप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेढ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नम ईध्र्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च हरों हर 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 नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शृङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नम उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कोल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नम आतार्याय च लाध्याय च नमः षष्प्याय च फेण्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नम इरिण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेश्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नम ऊर्म्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णषड्याय च नमो परुरमानाय च भिघ्नते च नम आखिदते च प्रखिदते च नमो वह्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागुं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वत्केभ्यो नम आनिर्हतेभ्यो नम आमीवत्केभ्यः द्रापे अन्धसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनां मा भेर्मा रोमो येषां किञ्चनाममत् या ते रुद्रशिवा तनोः शिवा विश्वाह भेषजी शिवा रुद्रस्य भेषजी तया नो मृडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रभरामहे मतिम् यथा नः शमसद्विपदे चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरम् मृडानो रुद्रोतनो मयस्कृधि क्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्छञ्चयोश्च मनुरायजे पिता तदस्याम तव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तमुतमानो अर्भकं मान उक्षन्तमुतमान उक्षितम् मानो वधीः पितरं मोतमातरं प्रियामानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोकेतनये मान आयुषिमानो गोषुमानो अश्वेषुरीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो वधीर्हविष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते आरात्ते गोघ्न उत पूरुषघ्ने क्षयद्वीराय सुम्नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अधि च देव ब्रूह्यता च नः शर्म यच्छद्विवरः आहा स्तुहिष्वतङ्गर्तसदैयवानं मृगन्न भीममुपहत्नुमुग्रम् मृडाचरित्रे रुद्रस्तवानो अन्यन्ते अस्मन्निवपन्तु सेना आहा परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वृणक्त्वपरित्वेषस्य धर्मतिरघायोः अवस्थिरामघवद्भ्यस्तनुष्वमेघ्वस्तोकायतनयाय मृडया मीढुष्टमशिवतमशिवो नः सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्यं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विकिरितविलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रगुंहेतयोऽन्यमस्मन्निवपन्तु ताः सहस्राणि सहस्रथा बाहुवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवः पराचीना मुखाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रशो ये रुद्रा अधिभूम्या तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रे ये पृथिव्यां ये एन्तरिक्षे ये दिवि येषामन्नं वातो वर्षमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचि दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते न मृडयन्तु ते यन्द्विष्मो यश्च नोर्ध्वेष्टितं वोजम्भे दधामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षेयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्योमर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्नेनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि सदाशिवो शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियञ्च मे नु कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रञ्च मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणञ्च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वञ्च मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रञ्च मे सोश्च मे प्रसोश्च मे सीरञ्च मे लयश्च मरुतञ्च मे मृतञ्च मे यक्ष्मञ्च मे नामयश्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वञ्च मे नमित्रञ्च मे भयञ्च मे सुखञ्च मे शयनञ्च सोषा च मे सुथिनञ्च मे ॐ शान्तिः 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 भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः अमृताभिषेको अस्तु हिरण्याभिषेको अस्तु सुवर्णाभिषेको अस्तु साम्राज्यपट्टाभिषेको अस्तु एभ्यो तघोरे एभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः हिरण्यपात्रं मदोः पूर्णं दधाति मदव्यासानेति एकदा ब्रह्मण उपहरति एकदैव यजमान आयुस्तेजो दधाति पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव हर
విరుల வேவல்னே பங்கரும் விருலகஜே பூஜு பககசு ருகுலுவே வல்னே பங்கரு விருலகஜே பூஜு பககசு வேகி வல்னே பங்கரு விருலகஜே Dani daba daba gama surun dani dani badani dani daba ni daba magari gama surun ni dani badani dari magari dani dani sani daba masudun daba magari gama badani daba magari daba magari sare gama badani dari gama gagari dari dani sani daba masudun dani dani da 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 dani dani da 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 dani da dani dani badani dani daba mamma dani dani badani dani daba ma badani daba magari gama papa magari gama pa dani daba magama bada ni dani badani ri dani dani dari magari dani dani gagari ri dani dani ri dani dani ri dani dasani daba magama badani da dani dani da 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 dani 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 bada badani dani bada bani da bada bama bama gani da bama gari gama padani da dani dari gama magari dani dani gari dani ri dani da bama badani da magari dani da bama gama badani da dani bada ma badani da ni da bama badani da dani da bama gama badani da dani dani da ni da badani da ma badani da re gama pani da da dani da 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 dani da dani dani badani da badani da badani da da ba ma ni da da ba ba ma ba da dani da ba ba ma badani da ba ma ba da ga re gama ma ga re gama pa pa ma ga re gama pa da ga da da ba ma ga ni da ba ma da ba ma ga re gari ma ga ga ba ma da ba ba ni da ba ba ma ga re ga ma ba da ni da ba ma ba da ni da ni da ni da ba ma ba da ni da ba ma ga ma ba da ni da ni da ba da ni da ni da ni da ri ma ga ri da ni da ri ma ga ga ri da ni da ni ga ga ri da ni da ni ri da ni da ni da ni ri da ga ri ma ga ri da ni ri ni da ni za ri ga ma ri ga da ri ni ga dari ni za ri ma ga ri da ni da ba da ni da ba da ni da ri ba da ni da ri ga ma ba da ni za ri ga ma ga ri sa ri da ma ga ri da ni da ri ga ma ga ri da ni ma ga ri da ni da ga ri da ni da ba ma ba da ni za ri sa ni da ni sa ni da ba da ma pa da ni sa ga ri da ni da ri da ni da ba da sa ni da ba ma su tun వేవన్నే బంగారు విరులచే పూజింపగ సురులు వేవన్నే బంగారు విరులచే పూజింపగ సురులు సనకది మౌని వరులు పగ ಶಿರುಲಿ ತುನನಿ ಕೊಲುವೈಯುಳ್ಳು ಶ್ರೀ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ ನಾಯಿಕ ಶಿರುಲಿ ತುನನಿ ಕೊಲುವೈಯುಳ್ಳು श्री सौंदर्य नायिका वरुणी श्री त्यागराज वरदूनी श्री सौंदर्य नायिका वरुणी श्री त्यागराज वरदूनी परमात्मुनि हरुणी गोरी से परारे ओ खेली रे गोरी से
शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलः स्पन्दितुमपि अथस्त्वाम् आराध्या हरिहरविरिञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति जननी जननी जगनी अगनी जननी जननी जगनी अगनी जगत्कारणिनी परिपूरणिनी जगत्कारणिनी जगत्कारणिनी परिपूरणिनी जननी जननी जगनी अगमी जगत्कारणिनी परिपूरणिनी जगत्कारणिनी परिपूरणिनी जननी जननी जगनी जननी जननी जननी
சடைவார் குழலும் பிடைவாகனமும் சடைவார் குழலும் பிடைவாகனமும் கொண்ட நாயகனின் குளிர் தேகத்திலே நின்ற நாயகியே இதை பாகத்திலே நின்ற நாயகியே இதை பாகத்திலே ஜகன்மோகினி ஜகன்மோகினி சிம்ஹவாகினி ஜகன்மோகினி சிம்ஹவாகினி ஜகன்மோகினி சிம்ஹவாகினி जगत्कारणिनि परिपूरणिनि जगत्कारणिनि परिपूरणिनि जननी जननी जगमे अगमे जननी 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 चतुर्वेदங்களும் பஞ்சபூதங்களும் ஷண்மார்க்கங்களும் சப்ததீர்த்தங்களும் ஷண்மார்க்கங்களும் சப்ததீர்த்தங்களும் அஷ்டயோகங்களும் நவயாகங்களும் தொழும் பூங்கழலே மலை மாமகளே தொழும் பூங்கழலே மலை மாமகளே அலை மாமகள் நீ அலை மாமகள் நீ கலை மாமகள் நீ அலை மாமகள் நீ கலை மாமகள் நீ அலை மாமகள் நீ கலை மாமகள் நீ ஜனனி ஜனனி ஜகமே அகமே ஜகத்காரணி பரிபூரணி ஜகத்காரணி பரிபூரணி ஜனனி ஜனனி ஜகமே அகமே ஜனனி 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 ஸ்வர்ணரேகையுடன் ஸ்வயமாகி வந்த லிங்கரூபிணியே மூகாம்பிகையே லிங்கரூபிணியே மூகாம்பிகையே பல ஸ்தோத்திரங்கள் தர்மசாஸ்திரங்கள் பணிந்தே துவழும் மணினே திரங்கள் பணிந்தே துவழும் மணினே திரங்கள் சக்தி பீఠமும் நீ ஆ ஆ சக்தி பீఠமும் நீ சர்வமோட்சமும் நீ சக்தி பீఠமும் நீ சர்வமோட்சமும் நீ சக்தி பீఠமும் शक्तिपीठमुनि सर्वमोक्षमुनि शक्तिपीठमुनि सर्वमोक्षमुनि शक्तिपीठमुनि सर्वमोक्षमुनि
जननी जननी जगमे अगमे
जगत्कारणिनि
परिपूरणिनि
जगत्कारणिनि परिपूरणिनि
जननी जननी जगमे अगमे
जननी 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 जननी
जननी जननी जगमे अगमे जननी जननी जननी
ॐ वामदेवाय नमः। स्नानं समर्पयामि। स्नानानन्तरं शुद्ध आचमनीयं समर्पयामि। ज्येष्ठाय नमः। वस्त्रं समर्पयामि। श्रेष्ठाय नमः। उपवीतं समर्पयामि। रुद्राय नमः। समर्पयामि। कालाय नमः। दिव्यपरिमलगन्धान् धारयामि। कलविकरणाय नमः। अक्षतां समर्पयामि। बलविकरणाय नमः। पुष्पं समर्पयामि। अथ अक्षतैः पुष्पैः पूजयामि। ॐ शिवाय नमः। ॐ महेश्वराय नमः। ॐ शम्भवे नमः। ॐ पिनाकिने नमः। ॐ शशिशेखराय नमः। ॐ वामदेवाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्षाय नमः। ॐ कपर्दिने नमः। ॐ नीललोहिताय नमः। ॐ शङ्कराय नमः। ॐ शूलपाणने नमः। ॐ खट्वाङ्गिने नमः। ॐ विष्णुवल्लभाय नमः। ॐ शिपिविष्टाय नमः। ॐ अम्बिकानाथाय नमः। ॐ श्रीकण्ठाय नमः। ॐ भक्तवत्सलाय नमः। ॐ भवाय नमः। ॐ शर्वाय नमः। ॐ त्रिलोकेशाय नमः। ॐ शितिकण्ठाय नमः। ॐ शिवाप्रियाय नमः। ॐ उग्राय नमः। ॐ कपालिने नमः। ॐ कामारये नमः। ॐ अन्धकासुरसूदनाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गाधराय नमः। ॐ ललाटाक्षाय नमः। ॐ कालकालाय नमः। ॐ कृपानिधये नमः। ॐ भीमाय नमः। ॐ परशुहस्ताय नमः। ॐ मृगपाणये नमः। ॐ जटाधराय नमः। ॐ कैलासवासिने नमः। ॐ कवचिने नमः। ॐ कठोराय नमः। ॐ त्रिपुरान्तकाय नमः। ॐ वृषाङ्काय नमः। ॐ वृषभारूढाय नमः। ॐ भस्मोद्दोलितविग्रहाय नमः। ॐ सामप्रियाय नमः। ॐ स्वरमयाय नमः। ॐ त्रयीमूर्तये नमः। ॐ अनीश्वराय नमः। ॐ सर्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ परमात्मने नमः। ॐ सोमसूर्याग्निलोचनाय नमः। ॐ हविषे नमः। ॐ यज्ञमयाय नमः। ॐ सोमाय नमः। ॐ पञ्चवक्त्राय नमः। ॐ सदाशिवाय नमः। ॐ विश्वेश्वराय नमः। ॐ वीरभद्राय नमः। ॐ गणनाथाय नमः। ॐ प्रजापतये नमः। ॐ हिरण्यरेतसे नमः। ॐ दुर्धर्षाय नमः। ॐ गिरीशाय नमः। ॐ गिरिशाय नमः। ॐ अनघाय नमः। ॐ भुजङ्गभूषणाय नमः। ॐ भर्गाय नमः। ॐ गिरिधन्वने नमः। ॐ गिरिप्रियाय नमः। ॐ कृत्तिवाससे नमः। ॐ पुरारातये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ प्रमथाधिपाय नमः। ॐ मृत्युञ्जयाय नमः। ॐ सूक्ष्मतनवे नमः ॐ जगद्व्यापिने नमः ॐ जगद्गुरवे नमः ॐ व्योमकेशाय नमः ॐ महासेनजनकाय नमः ॐ चारुविक्रमाय नमः ॐ रुद्राय नमः ॐ भूतपतये नमः ॐ स्थाणवे नमः ॐ अहये बुद्ध्याय नमः ॐ दिगम्बराय नमः ॐ अष्टमूर्तये नमः ॐ अनेकात्मने नमः ॐ सात्विकाय नमः ॐ शुद्धविग्रहाय नमः ॐ शाश्वताय नमः ॐ खण्डपरशवे नमः ॐ अजाय नमः ॐ पाशविमोचकाय नमः ॐ मृडाय नमः ॐ पशुपतये नमः ॐ देवाय नमः ॐ महादेवाय नमः ॐ अव्ययाय नमः ॐ हरये नमः ॐ पूषदन्तभिरे नमः ॐ अव्यग्राय नमः ॐ दक्षाध्वरहराय नमः ॐ हराय नमः ॐ भगनेत्रभिदे नमः ॐ अव्यक्ताय नमः ॐ सहस्राक्षाय नमः ॐ सहस्रपदे नमः ॐ अपवर्गप्रदाय नमः ॐ अनन्ताय नमः ॐ तारकाय नमः ॐ परमेश्वराय नमः श्रीहिरण्यगर्भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाक्षतपूजां समर्पयामि धूपम् ॐ वनस्पत्युद्भवैर्दिव्यैर्नानागन्धैः सुसंयुतः आग्नेयः सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं प्रतिगृह्यताम् श्रीहिरण्यगर्भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः धूपमाग्रापयामि साक्षात् प्रत्यक्षदीपं दर्शयामि धूपदीपानन्तरं शुद्ध आचमनीयं समर्पयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ भूर्भुवः सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् सत्यं त्वर्तेन परिषिञ्चामि अमृतमस्तु अमृतोपस्तरणमसि श्रीहिरण्यगर्भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः मधुरफलसहित अमृतोपहारान् समर्पयामि ॐ प्राणाय स्वाहा ॐ अपानाय स्वाहा ॐ व्यानाय स्वाहा ॐ उदानाय स्वाहा ॐ समानाय स्वाहा मध्ये मध्ये उदकपानीयं समर्पयामि अमृतापिदानमसि उत्तरापोषणं समर्पयामि हस्तौ प्रक्षालयामि पादौ प्रक्षालयामि मुखे शुद्ध आचमनीयं समर्पयामि पूगीफलताम्बूलं समर्पयामि ताम्बूलचर्वणानन्तरं शुद्ध आचमनीयं समर्पयामि अथ नीराजनम् ॐ अघोरेभ्यो तघोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् साम्राज्यं भोज्यं स्वाराज्यं वैराज्यं पारमेष्ठिकं राज्यं महाराज्यमाधिपत्यम् आर्द्रया रुद्रः प्रथमानयेति श्रेष्ठो देवानां पतिरग्नियानां नक्षत्रमस्य हविषा विधेमा मानः प्रजानं वीरषण्मोत वीरान् हेते रुद्रस्य परिणो वृणक्तो आर्द्रा नक्षत्रं जुषतागुं हविर्नः प्रमुञ्चमानौ दुरितानि विश्वा अपाघशगुं सन्नुदतामरातिम् व्यपात्रं मदोः पूर्णं दधाति मदव्यासानेति एकदा ब्रह्मण उपहरति एकदैव यजमान आयुस्तेजो दधाति। श्रीहिरण्यगर्भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः। कर्पूर आनन्दमङ्गलदिव्यनीराजनं दर्शयामि। नीराजनानन्तरं शुद्ध आचमनीयं समर्पयामि। रक्षान् धारयामि। हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव हर। ॐ सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः। भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः। वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः। अघोरेभ्यो तघोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वशर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। तत्राजाय प्रसह्य साहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे। समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु। कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः। ॐ तद्ब्रह्मा ॐ तद्वायुः ॐ तदात्मा ॐ तत्सत्यम् ॐ तत्सर्वम् ॐ तत्पुरोर्नमः। अन्तश्चरति भूतेषु गुहायां विश्वमूर्तिषु त्वयि यज्ञस्त्वं वषट्कारस्त्वमिन्द्रस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं ब्रह्मत्वं प्रजापतिः। त्वं तदाप आपो ज्योतिरसोऽमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवः सुवरो। स्वरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः। श्रीहिरण्यगर्भलिङ्गस्वामिने नमः। वेदोक्तदिव्यसुवर्णमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि। प्रदक्षिणनमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। पुनः पूजां च करिष्ये। छत्रमाच्छादयामि चामराभ्यां वीजयामि। नृत्यं दर्शयामि गीतं श्रावयामि वाद्यं घोषयामि। अश्वानारोहयामि गजानारोहयामि आन्दोलिकानारोपयामि। समस्तराजोपचार देवोपचार भक्त्युपचार शक्त्युपचार मन्त्रोपचार सर्वोपचार पूजां समर्पयामि।
Om Shri Sai Ram, offering our salutations to Sadguru Shri Madhusudan Sai. Devotees from around the world, students and staff, Sai Ram and welcome to Satya Darpan. In the early hours of this morning, Sadguru visited Bhagyanagara in Bagepalli Taluk to inaugurate the Shah Happiness Urgent Care Sai Swasthya Wellness Center. He graced the puja that was being performed and blessed the facility. There was an interactive session with Dr. Jeevan Bhatt, Chairman MSI Services, Mr. Manu Bhai Shahji and Dr. Nitin Shahji, who joined over a Zoom call from the US, along with other doctors and volunteers who were present. The Shah Happiness Foundation, based in California, is collaborating with the One World, One Family Foundation to expand our healthcare services by establishing wellness clinics in underserved rural communities. Sadhguru shared his vision to make available state-of-the-art, cutting-edge technology services, including robotic surgery at our hospital very soon. Blessing everyone, he returned back to Sathya Sai Grama. This morning, Sadhguru has graciously agreed to answer a few questions and doubts. Swami, the first question. Any child born is associated with a name and form. What is your advice to parents so that the child is raised in the correct manner and is aware of its ultimate reality?
First thing they can do is to choose a proper name. That name which conveys a message, a meaning. Not some name for which is just fashionable and it is trendy. Not like that. And even the worst case thing is that even people who have got very good names, they also ruin it. I went to the US, somebody's name is Padmanabhan, they call him Paddy. Somebody's name is Mahadevan, they call him Maddie. And imagine name is Badri Narayan, what would they call him? Baddy. So first of all, don't ruin your name. Name is dignity to yourself. So choose good name. I'm not saying choose very complicated name, but choose good names which convey some message. There is a meaning, so that you can make that as your aim in life, and then you learn to live that. When Bhagavan was there, he once asked, what is the meaning of Madhusudana? Everybody knows that there was a demon by name Madhu, and Krishna slayed him, so he became Madhusudana. But then Bhagavan said that is not the real meaning. Madhu means sweet, like honey. And what is sweet to human beings is their ego. So the one who truly slays their own ego, that is the person who should be called Madhusudana. So he explained to me the meaning of the name. Likewise, once you know that name and you know the meaning of it, that helps you to stay put in your efforts towards achieving the goal of that name. That is why in ancient times people were always keeping the name of gods or some ideas, Achyuta, Advaita, Vedanta, these kind of names, so that people would think of those ideas when they call their children. And even children would be reminded of what they are, who they are. That is why name, to begin with, start with the good name that you can put for the child, and then of course tell the meaning of the name and encourage the child to live by that name. If you go by the great ones like Madallasa, they always would sing to their children that you are Shuddhosi, Buddhosi, Niranjanosi, Samsara Maya Parivarjitosi, Samsara Swapnam Tyajamoha Nidra, Madallasa Lopamuvacha Putraha, it is said. In Markandeya Purana it comes that Madallasa, the great mother, was raising her children by singing lullabies which were very meaningful. She said, Shuddhosi, you are pure, Buddhosi, you are aware, Niranjanosi, you are blemishless, sinless, Samsara Maya Parivarjitosi, you are free from all the illusion of the samsara. Samsara Swapnam Tyajamoha Nidra, give up the dream of this samsara which you are dreaming while you are asleep. It means give up the dream of ignorance. Like yesterday we talked about in Ashtavakra, there is a dream and dream is just an illusion. The dreamer is the real one. So she says, oh children, give up this dream of the world that you dream while you are sleeping in ignorance. That is how Madallasa would speak to her children, and her children all became Brahmagyanis. That is the idea. We always have many rituals in our culture. We have Shodasha Samskaras are there. And these samskaras have very beautiful meaning, each one of them. Like that, there is a Namakarana Samskara, where you choose the right name for the child based on the nakshatras, tithi, and all other planetary positions. You choose an akshara. Akshara means that which cannot be destroyed. That should be the basis of your name. So you know that your name starts with an akshara. For example, somebody's name is Nageshwara. Na is the akshara with which the name has started. So they remember that first of all our name starts from a syllable which is an akshara called. In other places it is called alphabets and things like that, but in our culture it is called akshara, means that which cannot be destroyed. So that is the basis of even choosing a name in our culture. And Namakarana Samskara is a very important samskara, naming ceremony of the child, where we choose the name according to the child's stars. Why we choose according to the stars? Because the stars convey to us what is the aptitude of the child, what are the instincts or inner abilities or inner samskaras of the child. Because the stars tell us, based on the stars, astrologers would draw their birth chart, Jatakam they say. In that they know exactly based on the planetary positions what this child must have been in the past and what is the child's potential to be in this life. What are the good things and what are the things which are going to be the challenges in child's life. They all tell you that. And based on that, an akshara is chosen. And based on that sound of the akshara, which is every akshara is a mantra, every sound is a mantra, we all know. Then based on that sound, a good name was chosen. And that name should suit the personality of this child also. And then based on that, and then child was always given a name of their family deity and the lineage. Both were accompanied. Sometimes even the village name was put in. So the child would carry his name or her name, then will carry the name of the deity. Like if it's a god, Lord Venkateshwara, then there will be either Venkateshwara or Srinivasa or something that is second. So first name, let us say, is based on the Achyuta is the name, let us say, based on A Akshara. Achyuta means that which is sinless, which is not destroyable, which is ever, these all God's adjectives. So Achyuta Srinivasa will be the second name, which will be name of the deity whom they worship. Then it will be name of the father or the grandfather as they were following in their lineage. So let's say his father's name was Venkata Padmanabha. So they'll write Achyuta Srinivasa Venkata Padmanabha. And suppose there is a village to which they belong, sometimes just to identify themselves with the community that they belong to, they would also write the name of the community or the village. Like if it's Muddenahalli, then it will be Muddenahalli at the end. So that is how people were defining what is their name akshara, what was their gotra, means the grandfather or father, which lineage they come from, and then the name of the god that they worship and the name of the village or community to which they belong. Even in biosciences, if you see, every species has a name, right? A generic name is there, the specific name is there. We all remember, based on that, you know which species this belongs to, which family and all that. So that kind of detailing was there in our name. And imagine what a plight that all that has been now reduced to simply a mere fashionable exercise. And therefore children have no clue of who they are and what they are here to achieve. That is why it's important to choose the right name, to begin with that and explain the name to the child and explain that the child must live up to his name. That is very important to begin with. And of course, as the family follows the parampara of spirituality in the family, the child will simply follow that. Children don't learn by listening to, but they learn by watching their elders do what they are doing. And that is the best way to raise the child.
In today's age, youth are caught between religious fanaticism and pseudo-secularism bordering on atheism. In this context, how can they take pride in practicing their own faith while respecting and accepting other religions?
I don't think they have the right understanding of the religious principles or the idea of spirituality. It's become very fashionable nowadays to say I am spiritual but I am not religious, which is a way to say that I do not follow any practices per se, or I do not affiliate with any particular structured, organized thought of religion, but I nevertheless believe in the greater supreme power. This is what they say, which is fine, but it is like saying I believe in knowledge but I don't believe in schools. I don't believe in going to school, but I did nevertheless believe in knowledge. But knowledge happens through schools only. You go to a school, you go to a teacher, that's how you learn. So religions are schools through which we learn the knowledge of spirituality. Of course, as I said, somebody can theoretically learn spirituality, but it won't go inside because they have not practiced it under the tutorship of a guru or a master. So it doesn't go. So religion was supposed to be, as I mentioned, it was born from a Latin word called relegare, means to bind people together. So when the communities, there had to be some discipline, do's and don'ts, whether it was 10 commandments that Moses gave, or whether other principles in our own the yama niyama, like that ashtanga yoga. So like that, every religious process had some do's and don'ts to help people follow a certain pattern in life. Otherwise our mind is very It gets distracted very quickly, doesn't follow the rules. For that sake, religion was created, and some styles of worship or whatever rules were created that help people to remain disciplined and remain on the path, which is why religion has its own role and its importance. We must understand the role of that religion. Now, what happened over a period of time that religion was weaponized? They started using one religion against the other politically. And they started saying we are superior than them, so if you follow our religion, you will become a superior person. That is how the kings created all the confusion. And because every human being, they want to believe in something. No human being can live in this world without believing in something. So God became a belief system. Kings became the, in a way, propagators of this belief system, and sometimes at the point of a sword or a gun, they would push people to follow a certain religion because they basically wanted their subordination, they wanted their subjugation. In the name of God, they were doing it. And it was very easy to blame God for everything. If something does not work out, it was God's will, they'll say, and walk away. So that is how religion was wrongly used, and that is why a lot of people are so disillusioned with the idea of religion. They want to run away from temples and places like that. But then there is a role, there is an importance of every religion, like schools have importance where children must go, spend a certain number of hours under the tutorship of a teacher, learn it in the proper way. You can learn it yourself also, Ekalavya method also, but that's not easy, that's not for everybody. Very few can have that capacity to learn about God and spirituality without having to follow any particular rituals or process. Very few have that capacity. You cannot take those exceptions as general. Generalization is not allowed. You have to follow as per your requirement. So as I said, if religious teachers read the scriptures and interpret them correctly, and if any religion is teaching man to fight against another man, that religion definitely has some fault lines, or maybe the interpretation is not right. So from that point of view, one should accept what is good in every religion and discard what is not good. Anything like you say you eat a banana. A banana is covered in a peel. You peel the banana and you eat only the fruit and throw away the skin. So likewise in religion also there are certain rules, rituals, regulations. They protect the inner core or the essence of the religion. For that sake those rules have been put. But what you really like about that, you should take it, and it should help you become disciplined in your sadhana, in your sincere efforts towards God. That is why religion is important. So if somebody says I am spiritual but I am not religious because I do not follow any particular religion, but I have my own patterns or I have my own process. What is the process? I wake up, I have a bath, then I sit in front of rising sun, and then I close my eyes and I meditate on the idea how selfless is this sun, how good his nature is, how selflessly he is giving his light even though he is burning, and then I offer some prayers and a flower or two. Therefore, I do not follow any religion, but I follow. But I would say that what you just created was a mini religion of its own. That you wake up and you look at sun and you follow a certain ritual to pray to sun. If I put it all together and write a holy text on it, it will become another religion. Hundreds of them are there like that. So that is why looking at religion from very narrow lens of dogmatism or orthodoxy is not the real understanding of religion. We must understand the essence, and we should also appreciate the fact that this essence had to be protected through certain rituals, rites, certain processes, certain infrastructure, methodology, which helped us to retain the value of that. Otherwise it will be very difficult. See, if everybody was disciplined, we don't need traffic signals. If everybody was disciplined, we don't need police, law and order. But we are not. As human beings, we err. That is why religion has a role to play. It teaches us if you do wrong, you will suffer. If you do right, you will benefit from it. Now they have bundled it together as merit and sin, and then said that you will go to heaven or hell, and there will be a God sitting who will be judging you by all your deeds. These are ways to tell us to be disciplined and nice and kind. You don't have to go to another hell. You can make your life hell very much here by doing wrong deeds. Some criminal who goes to jail in this world, is it not a hell for that person? Somebody who is doing well, living a happy, peaceful life in a family, is it not a heaven? Their very home is heaven. Likewise, depends on us. Don't wait for another hell or heaven. That was created as an idea so that people follow certain disciplines. Now, that cannot be the reason why you do good. You should do good nevertheless, whether you will attain good or heaven or a bad hell. Irrespective of that, the job is to do good. So, religion encourages us in that way. See, human mind only is motivated by either fear or greed. Stock markets, bull and bear. So heaven is the bull market. The good things, the greed part of it, that you will get this, you will get that, you will benefit. And the hell part of it is the bear market, like the fear of things. If you do this, you will get punished. If you do this, you will go to hell. So that is how it has been created. So, but beyond that, try to understand the essence of it. This is the skin, this is the rind, this is the container in which the content of spirituality is there. But these are helping people, because if these are not there, there will be utter chaos. Of course, this also has created chaos because of misinterpretation. But if there was no structure, human societies will become wild. They will become, what you call, barbaric. They would never respect each other, they will never respect their boundaries. So religion has a role, and this fashionable statement that I am not religious but I am spiritual is very misplaced. Even those youngsters who say we are spiritual, I ask them, what do exactly you do if you are spiritual? I say, we follow yoga. We do yoga, we do all these various kinds of asanas and pranayama, and we do service and things like that. I told all that put together can also be called a religion of its kind, because its whole idea is to bind you to a certain structured way of approaching God. It may not come under the regular classified one, but then it can start. So many new religions had started. In fact, when Bhagavan was there was a very big fear that he is starting a new cult and a new religion of his own, Sai Baba religion. And I believe there was a lot of investigation going on. These US, investigation agencies have no other work than go into every country and find out what's going. When they saw so much followership, they all thought he's building a new religion, and now, like Islam came after Prophet Muhammad, or if Buddhism came after Gautam Buddha, or Jainism came after Mahavir, or Hinduism, of course, do not have a single origin, so very difficult to pinpoint. But Christianity came after Jesus Christ. Like that, they thought some Sai Baba religion is going to start after Sai Baba. That's why Bhagavan clarified, I have not come here to start a new religion or to gather followers. I am here to make Hindu a better Hindu, a Muslim a better Muslim, a Christian a better Christian. I am here to light the lamp of love in every heart and to see to it that it burns brighter day after day. It's very clearly said. There is no religion over here. Whatever you follow, follow. But he was teaching the essence of it. And essence of his love and service. Essence is to love God and love everyone, serve God and serve everyone. So, modern age people have not understood because it's not been explained to them properly. That's why they run away. One of the child, once he asked, it was one of our devotees' children. He said, I don't want to go to the temple. They had to ritualistically go to their deity, family deity. Every family in India follows a deity or a temple which they go to annually as a part of the ritual. But this boy of 7 said, I do not want to go to any temple. Why? Because you say God is everywhere, then why should I go to temple? See, he was using the same logic which the parents had taught. God is everywhere. He said, when God is everywhere, why should I go to a temple? So that morning he made a ruckus at home. So in the morning they sent me a message, Swami, we do not know how to take this fellow, and he's using our arguments against us. They must have scared him, God is watching, don't misbehave like that. So now he's telling God is everywhere, why should I go to a temple? So they asked me, then I asked him whether he watches any YouTube videos, all the children today. Earlier mothers were showing the moon and feeding the children, now they show the mobile and feed the children, right? So this fellow was watching some YouTube videos and games. So I asked him, how do you watch it? There is internet, right? He said, yes, there is internet. Is the internet strong in all the places in your house, or in some places stronger than the other? He said, wherever there is the router, that place in that room, it is very strong, so I sit and watch my videos there. I told the same thing is temple. While God is everywhere, his presence is felt more powerfully in a temple, like high strong signal in a certain place of the house. So internet is everywhere, but the signal is strong in certain places because there is a receiver or a router there. Likewise, temples have their roles. You must understand that power of God is more visible, more evident, more experienceable in places where all people go and worship. There is a deity, and the deity has been infused with prayers like the Shiva Puja we did today. So that gives you a tremendous amount of energy. Go there. Then he understood and agreed, and then he went to the temple. So if you explain to children correctly, then they will understand why religion and why rituals. But if you don't understand, you say, keep quiet, that is how it is. You have to keep a cat under a basket and put a rock. Then they will run away from religion.
Swami, with increasing incidence of mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression, what are the best practices that youth can adopt to prevent them?
Your mental health problems or whatever your anxiety comes when you are not in tune with your purpose. Period. Everything else is secondary. When you love what you are doing, where is the anxiety? I have seen people, sports people, get up at 3:30 a.m. in unearthly hours, practice before the sunrise itself. They finish 2 hours of practice and very grueling schedules. It's very hard on anybody. But there is no mental wellness issue. Oh, I woke up at 3:30. I am unwell now. No, they want to do it because that is what motivates them. That is what excites them. They are never tired of doing it because they want to play sports. I've seen children, hours and hours they can play without getting tired in sun and rain. But tell them to sit in front of a teacher in the class, 10 minutes they are in samadhi sthiti. Don't know what they are, who they are. Why? Actually, physically, if you see, playing is far more strenuous, isn't it? For anybody, playing means you have to put so much of energy, time, attention, everything into it. Whereas in classroom, comfortable, you're sitting on a chair, on a desk, and it is much more comfortable. It's no sun, no rain, you're comfortably under the fan. Then why is that you are not happy and attentive? So they are happy because they love it. So when we are doing what we are born to do, all the mental wellness issues will disappear. It's only when we are doing something other than what we are born to do, then we get into depression, anxiety and things like that. This is my appeal to the parents through this channel. Please don't push your children into doing things which they are not liking, which they don't want to do, which they are not born to do. Because of which they whole life they suffer. And that suffering turns into anger, frustration, hatred, violence, both domestic and outside, shooting. All this is that anger that has pent up in the child because they are not in tune with what they are doing. Some singer has to be a singer. You can't make an engineer out of him. He may follow because of your threats, but then he won't be happy. So that is why people are suffering. If you just do what you are born to do, that is why Krishna Shreyan Sadharmo Vigunat Paradharmo Bhayavaha, he says. What is bhaya of the other dharma? What is the problem of the following somebody else's dharma? Mental wellness issues is the problem. Because you're doing something other than you want. I keep telling our parents, for everything you ask your child, what do you want to eat when you go home? ತಂದೆ ತಾಯವರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವ, ಏನು ತಿಂತೀಯಪ್ಪ, ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಮದರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. ತಂದೆಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ತಾಯಿಗೆ, ಮಗುಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಾಳಲ್ಲ. ಮದರ್ ಆಸ್ಕ್, ವಾಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ಈಟ್ ಟುಡೇ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಹಾಲಿಡೇ, ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕುಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು your favorite things. Similarly, the father takes you to the market and says, let's buy some clothes. Then he'll ask you, whichever color shirt you want, you buy. They ask you your choice. Similarly, if they want to go out for a holiday, they ask you, where do you want to go? For everything, they ask the children, silly petty things, what clothes you want to wear, what food you want to eat. But in studies, they don't want to ask the children. That they should do as per what the neighbor says. They not even what they say. ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಮನೆಯವರ ಮಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅವರು ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ. ಅವರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಕೂಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗಿ. That is why my problem is, they don't ask the children, they don't ask, forget. They'll tell children are too young, what will they decide? Fine, leave it. They are observing the child right from the childhood. They see what their child's inclinations are. And if as a parent you don't understand your child, then what parent are you? You have failed as in your parenting because you don't understand what's going on inside your child. So that is where it's important that everybody does what they're born to do. Whether it leads to economic profits at the end or not, that should not be the criteria. First criteria, the child is going to be happy. And then, of course, whatever economics comes out of it. Not everybody is supposed to earn the same amount of money. Everybody will earn differently according to their abilities and capacities. They have wealth of knowledge. That also should be respected. Unfortunately, in society, everything is being equated with money. Success is equal to money. More money means more successful you are. You live a lavish, rich life, you are successful. The neighbors, the people around you tell, oh, his son is very successful. Why? He is in the US doing this, doing that. That is a syndrome. Unfortunately, that is what is causing all the mental anxiety and issues. The second thing I really see in children is that they expect to be loved. When people don't receive enough love in their life, they develop mental issues. They try to escape that void, that emptiness, that hollowness, and turn towards other ways to fill themselves with things. In teenage especially it happens. Their attention on family is very less. They are always interested in friends outside themselves. Then they make these fake friends on Facebooks and Instagrams. On the other side, you don't even know there is a real person, might be just a trap. A lot of children get trapped by such people. And they emotionally get dependent on it. Why? Because they have not received enough love at home. If they had received enough love and attention at home, they won't look for friends outside home. Your parents will become your friends. Your siblings will become your friend. But parents are busy making money because success is equal to money. So children are growing like this in very toxic environments. And they're getting into all wrong things. Then mental wellness issues, because child is not happy. Some days you can entertain, distract yourself with gadgets and friends and social media and so many things. But after some time you feel that hollowness, it eats you up. Then you look around, who is there to love me? Nobody. Can you believe I was reading some newspaper articles and they were saying now children are more dependent on ChatGPT for counseling and care. If they are feeling very sad, they start talking to ChatGPT. And the ChatGPT is giving them answers, they feel comfortable. And I read a whole page of newspaper article which said, it was children from around the world, they have taken feedback. And mostly teenagers, they are not even now making even social media friend. They want an imaginary ChatGPT friend. They create a name and then they keep chatting. Oh, I've come home, there is nobody at home. The ChatGPT will say, oh, I am there for you. Tell me what is that you want. And they feel good about it. They feel, yes, it's responding. Because parents don't respond, friends don't respond. At least ChatGPT is responding. So there are people who are saying, while they are very aware that it is fake, it is not real, yet they are dependent somehow on these artificial intelligence-based chat apps. They are depending on them for their personal comfort. And they sleep after talking to the ChatGPT because there is nobody to speak to. They say good night to it, it tells you good night back, you feel comfortable, you go to sleep. You wake up, say good morning, it tells you good morning back, you feel very happy and you go to sleep. Or wake up and do things. Daily you are carrying that artificial intelligence and talking to it. And they are aware that this is not a real world. Yet they say we feel very comforted and we feel very accepted because it only tells what we want to hear. That is the downside also. It will always tell you good things. It will never say wrong things, because if it says wrong thing, you will delete it. So the apps are here to make money. So they will exactly tell you what you want to hear. But then you create a cocoon of your own, an artificial cocoon, an imaginary world you start living in. It is not the real world. So when you actually face the real world and see there are real people who can be negative also, who can say things which are not nice, you get into mental issues. How can somebody say this to me? Nobody ever said this to me, because you never spoke to real people in life. You had that artificial intelligence friends, fake friends. So these children have no clue how to behave in the real world. And they become so addicted that they cannot, the article says that they feel their mobile is the extension of their hand. If somebody takes away the mobile, they feel they have cut off their hand. That angry they get. They have beaten up their parents because mobile was taken away, or tried to kill themselves. In South Korea, I was reading some article which said that children will take the mobile, go off and won't come out of the room. Not for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, they would just sit there, just want their food and they don't want to talk to anybody. Some kind of a social isolation. Man is a social animal. We must behave and work with the society. That's when we evolve and grow. And we must deal with both negative and positives. And that is what strengthens us. We live in an artificial cocoon of ours in artificial intelligence world or social media world, which is not real. So when you deal with the real world, you get affected. Then mental issues start. Then to escape that, you start substance abuse. Because if you take that, some altered state of consciousness, you for some time you are in that world, you feel you are good. But again you drop back into the same good old world and you can't deal with it. This is such a huge pandemic proportion problem right now, everywhere. And the biggest problem, why it's happening, is parents are at fault. And I will spare no words in saying that. The parents who did not pay enough attention to their children, did not give enough love, because they were saying, we are earning money for you, we are working so hard for you, so that we can pay your fee, we can give you your gadgets, we can give you a comfortable life, the life that we could not live, we want to give it to you. Some nonsense like that they talk. I would rather tell the parents to live in a small house, have a few things, but spend time with the child and give love to the child, understand what's going on inside the child, and be a nice parent. Mental illness will disappear. It does not happen. At the end, parents are also mentally ill, children also are mentally ill. Why? Because when child grows up as an angry child, does not like the parents, does not want to talk to them, the parents feel uncomfortable, they get into depression. So it is a very wrong way of living life. And I think this peer pressure of doing things which will make you monetarily successful, pushed by society and not what your purpose is, that's the first most important reason for mental illness. The second is not getting enough love and not dealing with real people and real world. Not developing your resilience, not developing your mental strength to deal with positives and negatives of the world. You think everything is straight line. No. That exposure itself is not there for children in so many countries. That is the reason why this mental illness happens. What is the antidote? Go back and correct these two. Deal with real people, love people, get love in return, you feel good, fine. You realize some people are nice, some people are not nice, you learn to live with it. To do what you are born to do. Then you will always be happy, you will never be sad. There will not be a one day of your life when you will say, oh, what a day it is. I don't want to live anymore. Such ideas won't come. Suicides have gone up in children, teenagers. Even in developed countries, rich parents, rich children. Like some poor fellow in Gaza is saying, I want to die because I don't have food to eat and I don't know when I will be killed. I understand that child's plight. But rich people with everything at their fingertips, those children want to kill themselves because they have no purpose, they don't understand why they are here. See, some kind of a nonsense. This is absolutely, parenting has gone wrong. Then education system has gone wrong, which could have been the support system for the children when they are in the school. Teachers also pushing them for marks and more marks and more marks and more marks, and schools want their reputations and fee income. They are also doing the same thing. At the end of it, it's a child who suffers. So this is where I am worried about. So that's why all things we do in our institution, but if I talk more, they'll think we talk too much about our institution, what we do right, but that is the truth.
There is a fear of loneliness for those who embark on the spiritual path. How can youngsters prepare themselves for the journey ahead without getting demotivated?
Spirituality can mean that you will be alone, but it does not mean you will be lonely. There is a world of difference between the two. There was a person in the Himalayas, he was a saint, and one journalist found him and wanted to take an interview. In the interview he asked me, don't you feel lonely all by yourself in the Himalayas, nobody comes? He said, actually now I am feeling lonely that you have come here. You are disturbing me. My aloneness, my solitude, you are disturbing. So now I feel really lonely. It means negative I feel about me. See, being with yourself should be a joyful experience, right? Who is the most important being in your life? You. After that only the rest of the world comes. But why are you not happy being with yourself? Why you need a mobile phone or two friends to chat with or something else to do, distract your mind? Because you're not being yourself. You're not being yourself. So you want to distract yourself and try to be somebody else. Like I said, a man can be a husband, a father, a brother, a friend, a son, multiple roles. Man, when he's none of these, is man alone. But when he sits alone, he feels, I have no identity. So he immediately wants to become a father to son, or son to his father, or husband to a wife, or friend to a friend. He immediately wants to put on some costume because he's not able to be himself. A sannyasi is able to be himself without being a father to someone, or son to somebody, or husband to someone, or a brother to someone, or a friend to someone. He's able to stay happily. That's why I said this no mobile time, or no total solitude time, the practice is very important. Because what will happen initially, it will throw up all the bad in you. The moment you start being with yourself, you know yourself thoroughly inside out. You know how many wrong things you have done and what all you think and what is all the garbage that is inside. So you feel uncomfortable. And you immediately want to forget that and start talking to somebody who is always nice to you. So that you feel good about yourself. But that is escapism. That's not real personality development. That is your escapist strategy of not wanting to face yourself. I always talk to the man in the mirror every day. You know who you truly are. Yes, there might be ugly things about you. There might be nice things too. Focus on the nice things and strengthen them. And remove those ugly things one by one. But because we know ourselves too much, we find it difficult to sit all by ourselves. I said, okay. If you can't sit by yourself because you just can't face yourself, sit with God. Why you want to sit with a friend? Why you want to sit on a mobile phone? Why you want to sit with some other person? Sit with God then. That time is not lonely anymore. God is with you, you are talking to God, and you will feel the response in your heart. So sannyasis do that. They really are never lonely. Loneliness is a feeling of being left out, being abandoned, being ostracized, or being secluded. That is the feeling is loneliness. A negative thought is there in loneliness. Whereas aloneness is not negative. Aloneness is a beautiful experience of solitude. Many times you go to these sannyasis, they don't want anybody around them. I know of a sannyasi in Himalayas, he would always carry with him some stones, small stones, so that if anybody is approaching, he'll throw stones at them and won't allow them to come near him. Because he was fed up with these people, and the moment they find out there is some sannyasi, jnani over here, they'll come. And what will they ask? When will I have a son? When will my promotion happen? When will my daughter get married? When will I build the house? So he used to carry some stones in his kamandalu. Anytime he sees anybody approaching, he'll take a stone and start throwing at them. So people will run away. Because he was very happy being alone. And he was not lonely. This whole idea of spirituality being a lonely thing, a sad thing, a boring thing, a depressing thing is a construct of fools who have not understood what spirituality is. Otherwise, you are happy by yourself. And spend time with two people, two things. First, God, second, nature. Enough. You will never feel lonely. Enough is there. God is the first priority. God means sit in your own quiet time, talk to God. God, how are you? I'm feeling this today. I'm missing your presence. But I feel your presence in all these things around me. Any conversation. Make it at least better than talking to that artificial intelligence chat GPT, right? God is real. Talk. If you can't, that is too much for you to understand that abstractness of God. And you don't want to believe in any worship of idols and things like that, then at least go and be in the nature. Nature itself is make you feel so accepted. Go talk to animals. Spend time with cows and dogs and whatever animals you have, birds. See how they respond. How can you be lonely in this world? Only human company is not company. In fact, that is the last choice, should be the human company. Better than humans' company is the company of animals, birds and nature. And even better than that is the company of God within. So spend the time with the right people, you'll never feel lonely. This negativity won't be there. You will feel happy about it. In fact, once you get used to it, you would not want to meet people after that. It feels like a pain to meet anybody because it disturbs your joy of that solitude. There is a joy in it. Kasya sukham na karoti viraga, he said. The one who is detached, how can he not be happy? Adi Shankara's argument. Others will say the one who is detached, no money, no friends, no name, no fame, no job, no income, should be very unhappy. That is what the world thinks. Shankaracharya says other way. Sura mandira taru mula nivasa, shayya bhutala ajinam vasaha, sarva parigraha bhoga tyaga, kasya sukham na karoti viraga. The one who sleeps under the sky, wears a tree bark for the clothes, in the temple he makes his home, and has given up the idea of accumulating everything, amassing friends or wealth and relations. How can such a person not be happy, he says. If there is somebody else who will say, how can such a person be ever happy? He has no reason to be happy, he has nothing. But that person is happy because he is not lonely, he is alone. And aloneness has its own solitude. The beautiful poem of Rumi which says, beyond all this world we will meet in the field of aloneness, he says. That beauty of aloneness is beauty of solitude, it is not loneliness.
There is a growing confusion about gender identity among youth. What is the cause and is there a solution to this?
Gender identity, it was not a new issue. See, in our scriptures, we know about kinnaras and things like that. These were neither totally genderized as male or female. It was always there. Shikandi is the story from Mahabharata, we know. That he was born, male, but he had female qualities, so Bhishma was killed by that because Krishna gives the strategy, Bhishma will never kill a woman because he identifies as a woman, so he places as the charioteer for that day for Arjuna. And the Bhishma is not able to lift his weapon against because Shikandi is standing in front of Arjuna. And so this happens. So this is not something new. This today's time, whatever the taboo or social stigma or whatever you call it has made. But we don't have to overdo it, that's all I'm saying. We don't have to overdo. A third gender was always accepted. In our culture also it is known, in every culture it is known. It is not something new. As long as there is dignity to whatever you are, you behave in a certain way and you do what is right and you conduct yourself as per the societal dignity, it is fine, because that is both biological as well as a psychological phenomena, and it is not new. We say to Kim Purushas are there, Kinnaras are there. These are all various categories of beings which our scriptures also have talked about. It is not new. And so I am not saying that you should over eulogize it or you should shun it or look down upon. Both ways we should not. It is another thing, it is there. That is, you should accept it is there. It is there everywhere. It is there in nature, it is there in humans, it is there in the gods also, as I mentioned. There are semi-god, demigod, they also. Just accept it as at the face of it, that nature has so much of diversity. It creates so many things of so many kinds. This also is a part of the nature. Accepting is at the face of it, that is good enough. Not trying to, as I said, overdo it, overemphasize, either over eulogize it or over ridicule it. Both are not required. And whatever it takes, idea is that to live a good life in the service of all, in a way that will bring dignity to you and to people around you. That is good enough if you can follow that. And there is no confusion. See, in everybody, why Shiva is worshipped as Ardhanarishwara? In every man, there is a little bit of feminine aspect. In every female, there is a little bit of masculine aspect. That is the Shiva Shakti principle, yin-yang principle. We all know it. Male, identified as male, are those in whom the male aspects are far more dominating than the female aspect. Not biologically, mentally I am saying. That is why they are considered as male. Otherwise, every Shiva has a little Shakti in it. And every Shakti has a little Shiva in it. That is a known principle. It is not unknown. But sometimes the domination of one is more. That's why they identify more like a masculine person. And then even, like I will tell you, when I was in Puttaparthi, I had gone to one temple near Bukkapatnam, which is on the other side, Chitravati. There is this Grama Devi is there. She is a goddess. But she has moustache. So I asked this friend of mine, why is this goddess being given moustache? Is he a female god or a male god? He said, no, this is the Grama Devata. The female, generally all villages in India will have one protecting Devata, a goddess. And generally this is Devi, Mariamma, or some name will be there. This is also some name they told me, but she had moustache. I said, why have they put moustache for a woman? They said, because she is so strong like a man and so courageous and valorous. To respect that, they have drawn a moustache on her face to give the feeling that she is so courageous, valorous, more valorous than men when it comes to battle. Why? Then it occurred to me, why Shiva Shakti? Why this? In fact, today is very strange, because every day I say, every time the Shiva Puja is happening, I see Shiva and Parvati on the balcony in some form. Today I saw as Ardhanarishwara in particular. Then I started thinking, what does that mean? Because in every human, in every man there is a woman, in every woman there is a little bit of man. When the qualities are dominating, you identify as man or a woman, not just biologically, even psychologically you identify like that. So that is the phenomenon that is known. Now what is happening in modern times is that it's just been too over-marketed and too much of noise is made around that. That's all I would say. Otherwise, as nature has its own diversity and nature can produce anything. Where there are people born with 3 legs, 2 heads, all kinds of things happen in nature, right? So they are a part of the nature, and that's how we should accept it at the face of it without either thinking about it too positively or too negatively. At the face of it, you should know. And there should be rules and regulations like citizens of every country follow. They also should follow rules, and because whether which gender you are still a citizen of the country, and all rules of the country must apply. But I think that's enough for the already 12:10. Yeah, so idea is that you must do some mananam, continuously think about the truths that are spoken, because the more it's like chewing on the sugar cane. The more you chew, the more juice comes out of it. Some people just choose once and throws away. It's not. Some people are there, no? They'll in sambar we put drumstick. Oh, how they chew it, you should see. Not one drop of it. A drumstick cannot be recognized as drumsticks. They finish chewing it into nothing but a small ball of fiber. Take full joy of that drumstick, right? Full pleasure of eating a drumstick. Likewise, whatever knowledge you are getting, chew it thoroughly. Enjoy every bit of it. Don't leave anything on the table unfinished. Enjoy every aspect. And this beauty of spirituality is that it is so practical. In every situation you can apply. If it doesn't work, it is not spirituality. Spirituality works everywhere in all situations. That is the beauty of spirituality. So I expect that everybody really thoroughly enjoys it by working, chewing it, assimilating it, digesting it, making it a part of you. Okay.
सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे सर्वसुगुणसिन्धवे सकलसुजनबन्धवे गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय दीनदुःखितपोषकाय दानधर्मप्रेरकाय सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय वेदनादवर्धकाय विश्वशान्तिस्थापकाय ब्रह्मज्ञानबोधकाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सदय हृदयराजिताय सुमन सदन शङ्कराय सदय हृदयराजिताय सुमन सदन शङ्कराय शरणमुक्तिकारणाय मोक्षमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय सत्यसायिनप्रियाय सत्यप्रेमविग्रहाय नित्यशुद्धनिर्मलाय नित्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय दिव्यमङ्गलम् सद्गुरवे मधुसूदनाय महितमङ्गलम् ॐ जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तजना संरक्षक भक्तिमहेश्वर ॐ जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रितकल्पलतिका आश्रितकल्पलतिका आपद्बान्धव ॐ जय जगदीश हरे मातपिता गुरुदैवमु मर्यन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मर्यन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथ नागेन्द्राशयन ॐ जय जगदीश हरे ओंकाररूप ओजस्वियो साई महादेव सद्गुरु साई महादेवा मंगళహారతి అందుకో మంగళహారతి అందుకో మంగళగిరివారి ఓం జయ జగదీశ హరే నారాయణ నారాయణ शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय जय बोलो सद्गुरु श्री मधुसूदन साई जी की जय